All right, hello guys. Got a story I want to tell you guys. We've kind of kept this nil and null, but this is we've referred to this situation several times. Uh, Joe was kidnapped parentally when he was in between 3 and 4 months old. We took a trip here back in 2008. Joe was born a few months previous to that. I don't want to give his birth date out, but he was born a few months previous to that, and towards the end of October, beginning of November of 2008, on what I thought was going to be a trip where we could just go home. We were going to be here a few weeks, a couple of weeks, from the US to Colombia. Has turned into 17 years of hell. 17 years of hell. And what happened was, as soon as we got here, I thought Joe was not eating. And I was very concerned. This was the second day we were here on this so-called trip that was promised before God that we would be back in church. This is the type of Christianity we've been dealing with, but lied about. And our Christianity is honesty and goodness and forthrightedness and the golden rule. A day, 2 days approximately, I said we need to take him to the hospital. Joe wasn't eating. Well, we got down to the hospital and the doctor said, I believe this is due to the altitude, because Colombia sits at a very higher altitude than in the U.S., especially from where we came from in the U.S. And we were going out after we talked to the doctor, and as I was trying to get a taxi, held a taxi down. His mother informed me that not only would she not be returning to the U.S., but she wasn't going to allow him to return to the U.S. So then, to top it off, Joe's stepsister, his half-sister, her father went down and signed documents for Joseph to be a U.S. citizen. You look at Joe's birth certificate that was made months after his birth here in Colombia. It has Joe listed as a Colombian citizen. And the only signature on that document is his mother's ex-husband's signature. So they got in cahoots together, and they just kidnapped Joe from me. Now, I kept coming back and forth to Colombia and back and forth. I had a big, beautiful new home, gorgeous. Everybody that's seen photos of my home that I had, they're like, this is just really nice. I worked hard all my life. And all the work that I did that could have been handed to Joe went up in smoke fighting for Joe. We were not helped by the U.S. federal government. We were not helped by Colombian authorities. And it's been 17 years of hell. I eventually, 7 years ago, moved back here and have been living with his mother the whole time and going through her hell just to be able to have a relationship with my son. and Joe's of speaking age now. Now, for those of you that think that if one parent just up and absconds with another parent's child is not that bad, let me tell you what usually happens, and let me tell you what happened to Joe. Joe is big and strong and on it right now. But when I got back to Joe, Joe was 10 years old. He couldn't run outside, couldn't go outside without a pair of sunglasses on, and had to put deep, dark lenses, right?
Yeah.
You want to say something about that, about your eyesight and you not being able to run or add anything? The people would rather hear from you.
Oh, you pretty much said it all, but yeah, I couldn't jog. I could barely walk. I couldn't stand the sun, so I had to stay inside the house most of the times. And the only way I could go outside was by using sunglasses.
And when did you start going outside, son? Why couldn't you run? Why was the sun killing you?
Because my mom would never let me go outside. It was until you came here that you made me go outside and you helped me.
Yeah, I made her.
Well, yeah, made her
let you go outside. It was the way it went.
Yeah, that's.
So 10 years of his life kept inside. Could only go to school with somebody walking him. Get picked up with somebody walking him. And keep in mind that the school he was going to was within 100 yards of the house they were living in. 100 yards. And the rest of his little friends, even at that young age, were able to just walk right over there to the school, the people that lived in the neighborhood. Not that he had any friends, because he wasn't allowed to have friends, but he made some friendships with some people inside the school. And to really put icing on the cake with this immigration thing, Joe, the people that did this to him and helped him do it and helped conceal it, his half-sister and his half-sister's father, guess where they are right now? They are living high off the hog in the United States. Guess who they're sending money to? They're illegal, mind you. And guess who they're sending money to? They're sending money to the mother that created this mess and abused him very badly, and the rest of their family. Folks, when you see me smiling, you see this. And there's a reason behind that. I used to have a beautiful smile, but I don't have a beautiful smile any longer. I can't go to the dentist. I don't have the funds to go to the dentist. We're barely scraping by. Although I got free health care, not free, in a system, I'm disabled, just to let you guys know that. I have Parkinson's disease and a whole host of heart issues, surgery, spinal cord surgeries, a lot of stuff. I believe last week I had a mini stroke. I will never really know that because I can't afford to go to a doctor. But meanwhile, I've got medical care waiting for me in the U.S. Meanwhile, Joe has medical care as my son waiting for him in the U.S. So I try to call ICE. Guess what? You can't call ICE if you're living overseas. It won't accept your call. It just simply will not accept your call. There are hundreds of thousands of Latin American people that right now, if not millions, and I would lean towards millions, that are trying to turn in absconders from Latin America. that are in the U.S., and they can't get through to anyone. You can get no one on a telephone now. So I call for the FBI field office in Charlotte, North Carolina. I get treated like a pure dog and hung up on because I don't think them two should be there. And most importantly, Joe doesn't think them two should be there, reaping the rewards of his country and his dad's country and his dad's before him's country for what they've done. They hate America. They shouldn't be there. And so everything's wrapped up. These protests are no more, no less than for eyesight, because they're really not deporting people. They really don't want phone calls about illegals. They want to wait until somebody has committed a vicious crime, then go after them. It's all theater, folks. And I'm a Republican. I am a 100% Trump backer. But I'm honest, and I'm a Christian. And this is all theater. All theater. The FBI is a GD wreck. Today, there's nothing getting better with the FBI. Today, there's nothing getting better with ICE today. It's just they're sending the cameras out, showing you small portions. You know, it's like 18,000 people come out and they arrest 100. Nobody's being serious about this. They're going into bigger cities, getting 5 or 10 people at a time. There's 20 million inside the United States. And they don't want the 17-year-old U.S. citizen, young man, to even have any justice for himself being kidnapped and torturously abused in a foreign country. They don't want him to have no justice. They're not interested. But it's going to be theater. It's going to be. See, what this has developed in him is a meanness that has allowed him 21 times to plant somebody's ass on a canvas, and he'll continue to do so. He is the best. He's 16. He's fixing to turn 17. He's the best 16-year-old boxer on the face of planet Earth. There's everybody else, and then there's him. He's the best heavyweight 16-year-old boxer on planet Earth, bar none. There's not a damn 16-year-old on this planet that could go the 3 rounds with him without getting knocked out. They may be able to run and utilize the space they have. That's how special he is. And he got it because he was never allowed to go outside before he was 10 years old and even run or play with other kids. An existence kept inside a filthy, dirty, mold-ridden, dust-ridden house that messed his respiratory system up. No sunlight messed his eyesight up. And no activity messed his back and his legs up. But they ain't messed up no more. And I told these people when they just kidnapped Joe, that's what it is. It ain't a parental abduction. It's just a basic kidnapping. There was a conspiracy there. There was more than one that was helping in the situation. It was a bunch of people. And they cast false accusations at myself, but I kept telling them the whole time, eventually he's going to be able to talk. And he don't talk much, as you well know that you're familiar with him. But when he talks, it's serious, and he does talk, and he has talked. But the problem is Donald Trump, not Donald Trump, but that administration, that ICE, Homeland Security, the FBI, and other entities that will not even entertain a phone call from him asking for help. And that's what we got, and that's got to be fixed. You can look at every other issue today, but when your kids aren't safe, there are no other issues, and you guys need to remember that. Now, keep in mind, no ICE to call, FBI's not interested, nobody's interested, Homeland Security's not interested, that he is a 17-year-old kidnapped, 16-year-old kidnap victim from when he was months old. And they won't even entertain him enough to allow him to even talk to them about what happened to him, the abuse, the battering of him, a minor U.S. citizen child. So let me give you a news flash to the rest of you that are sitting comfortable back home. What happens when it's a situation and it's something with your child? What are you going to do? Schools have done been took over by these heartless, evil people. Every facet of education, sports has been taken over by these evil people. So your children, you need to stand up for them. And by God, I'm going to give my last breath standing up for my son. People should be applauding me for being father of the effing decade in the United States. And we can't even get nobody that'll talk to us. But you're going to be hearing it. Because this cat right here is going to be the world heavyweight boxing champion. And at that point, he's going to start screaming in the streets for justice till everybody has got an earful. And you guys need to be sure of that.